welcome to Witchy Shit and Manga Lit with Cartabus and Rawiyah. And this week we are joined by Danny, who is a longtime friend of Carta's. They were neighbors, so they grew up next door to each other. And Danny's a veterinarian who also discovered anime alongside of Carta's. So, I can't wait to hear that history. But welcome to the show, Danny. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here. I'm a big fan of the show. I've been listening since it started. I listen to every episode, so I'm kind of a fan of yours, Rawiyah. I don't actually know you personally, so I'm excited to get to know you better. I think you came into Cartabus's life when you guys lived in California, right? When you met,
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now that they're back in the Midwest, we see each other more often.
We do, because I drive to Chicago a lot. A whole lot. In fact, in 2
Which is
weeks,
nice.
I'll be there
awesome.
again.
Nice not having to drive to Ohio.
Yeah, no one's come to visit me yet. But that's okay, because my house is
I'm
filthy, so don't.
I'm gonna come see you. I'm gonna come see you at
I'd
some
be happy to
point.
come visit.
Yeah,
Flag my
exactly.
invitation. Wink.
That would be super cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come to
Yeah, so
California probably next year, though, because that's in
All
my
right, cool.
plans. So we'll see each other soon.
Ooh, cool. All right. So, what are we talking about today, Carta?
So today we are going to do the usual and discuss things we've been reading and watching, doing a focus on Demon Slayer again. And then we are also going to discuss acupuncture and alternative medicine care. Because Danny has been learning acupuncture for veterinary medicine, and that sounds really interesting to me. So I want us to talk about kind of our own experiences, because both you and I are seeing an herbalist, and we have a little bit of
Yeah.
background in that, so it'll be really fun just digging into kind of alternative medicine stuff, because I love that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think like massage therapy
Awesome.
stuff kind of fits in with that
Yeah, it does.
too.
We learned some health care when we were doing massage, and actually there was a TCM school like right next door to us, so we would go
Yeah.
honor them sometimes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
7 branches or 9 branches or something like that?
Yeah, I think it was 7 branches. I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember I was always like, do I want to go do that too? No, I don't have the money. Never mind.
Yeah.
School
Yeah,
is
this is
expensive.
yeah, I've always
But
been like interested in learning acupuncture, but it costs money. And so like I'd like taken some lectures here and there since vet school, but I figured like I'd have to like make a full commitment to actually learn it. And so luckily boss said go ahead and do it, and you know so job is covering it.
it's always good when
Part of my
work will pay
continuing
for education.
Mm-hmm.
So, Danny, what are you reading, watching, listening to this past week, year? What do you want to talk about?
So I did my homework for the pod happily watching Demon Slayer. I watched the newest season, and now I've starting it from the beginning because I've only watched it once, intermittently. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
going straight through now. Aside from that, I've been watching. I'm a big fan of Drag Race. I don't know, Rawiyah, if you ever watched that, but that was kind of my pandemic find that I kind of got
Mm-hmm.
obsessed with at the beginning of the pandemic, and I've kind of been watching a lot of that. So this week was the premiere of Drag Race Mexico. I got to watch that, and there was actually a straight man drag queen on it that won the first challenge.
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
Kind of interesting. Yeah, it's a married guy with a daughter and everything, and but I guess he met his wife in the gay bar doing drag already. So take from that what you will. Other
Oh.
than that, on the same topic, the other thing that I watched recently was Veneno on HBO Max or Max. It's this Spanish show about this trans woman prostitute who became famous in Spain in the 1990s after being on like a late night talk show. And then
Mhm.
it was really good. It's about her, like a reporter or like a journalist student who's also a trans woman who like idolizes La Veneno and then like meets her in real life and like kind of like starts like writing a book about her. So it goes through like her whole history. It was a really good show. It's like 8 episodes. Um, and I'm pretty sure that both of the main characters, the actors, like actually transitioned during the filming of the show. Um, like I don't know how long it took them to film it, but it was a really good show. So that's my, I know it's Pride Month's over today, but that's my Pride Month recommendation. Is Veneno. And then
Pride Month is every day,
Yeah, Pride Month is all year round. At
all
least on
year
the show.
round.
On the podcast, it's always Pride Month.
It's
awesome.
always,
It's always
always.
Pride Month. We're very into
Yeah, like
queer
Veneno
culture.
was like written, directed, and produced by Los Javis. It's this married couple they're both named Javier, and they're like this like
Mhm.
sexy millennial couple. They're also both permanent judges on Drag Race España.
España.
Yeah, Drag Race Mexico is the second Spanish language Drag Race iteration.
Okay.
Mm.
It's going everywhere. So yeah, that's it for me, I think.
How about you,
That's
I've
so
been
Rawiyah?
cool.
reading and studying my acupuncture
Yeah, the
stuff.
acupuncture stuff.
Mhm.
How about you, Rawiyah?
I I'm still working on my edits, which have been kicking my ass so hard. But first, I want to go back to something that because I have a comment about something that Danny said. Um, it's we shouldn't be like surprised by this in this day and age, but it's always wonderfully surprising when a trans artist plays a trans character,
Mm,
because that's really important of not just having visibility in these stories, but having representation in the artists who are portraying these like stories.
yeah.
So that's super cool, and I will be checking that out.
Yeah, it's like I don't know,
Um,
like I don't. I'm just I haven't looked into it. But I just wonder about the logistics of filming, finding actors to play the parts that haven't yet transitioned to film them pre-transition and post. It's it's I don't know. It's really interesting to see.
and the journey they went on, like with body dysmorphia and body regulation and all these other stuff that had happened. They probably went through a lot of stuff emotionally while filming this. So I would love to see a background or behind the scenes on that too.
Yeah, it was really cool to see like in the first episode when the like the main character finds La Veneno and like she goes and like finds them with her friend that she's like walking around town with, and like the friend doesn't know that she's trans until like Veneno and her friend like ask like, when are you so when are you going to transition or something like that, or like and then she was like, oh, I don't know, and like that was the first time her friend like even like knew that she was thinking about that, and that was
Mhm.
so I don't know, it was a really well done show, I think.
Hmm.
It was really good.
Thank you for sharing that with us because I'm adding it to my list of things that I'm going to watch when I'm done with my edits. So a lot of time has been spent on the edits this week, but I have made time to start watching Jujutsu Kaisen.
I've been waiting for this. It's my favorite.
I'm really loving it. Nanami, I can get why Nanami's daddy. His I just saw him go into overtime for a brief moment. What I love about Nanami is his boundaries. He's like, "You're not doing this. You're a kid, and here's why."
Yes.
And you are like, "I'm on the clock for a certain amount of time, and I don't care what the fuck is going on. I'm not gonna like cross over my time limit." Like when he went under overtime, he's like, "Oh, I'm in overtime now, so I'm gonna end this fight and I'll see you later. Like, you seriously? I
He
love
was
that.
like, hard stop. It's a hard stop right now.
Hard
It's
stop,
5
hard
p.m.
stop.
bad guy. Bye.
Yeah, this is a red. This is a red.
Yeah.
We're done here. And I also have been reading Demon Slayer because like I can't wait for the next season to come
I
out.
know.
I'm reading it right now. And there's also something else I was reading, but I can't remember what it was, so I guess that's not that impressive. I thought I was going to start reading One Piece, watching One Piece, but then I realized One Piece has this
One Piece is a
ridiculous amount of
commitment.
episodes.
Like, you get married to One Piece. That's how it works if you want to start watching One Piece. It's like, you're
So it
watching
was
this
like
bitch
strong.
the rest of your life. Deal with it.
It's got over 700
Yeah.
episodes and it is
Yeah.
still going.
The manga's at
It
like
is,
1,300 chapters or something like that. So
oh, so ridiculous. So ridiculous.
How long is Naruto and Boruto?
Naruto, Naruto, the first series is like 300 episodes. Shippuden is 600. So it is like 900 total. And then Boruto is like 293 or something. We gave
Mm-mm.
up. We call it
Hmm.
boring toe now. We gave up hate watching the show and started watching other shit instead. Oops.
My boss at work just got Crunchyroll to watch
Oh,
the new season of Demon Slayer, and then he just mentioned he started watching Jujutsu Kaisen. Just out of everything on Crunchyroll, that's what he happened to start watching.
because it's amazing.
Yeah, so I was just like, hey,
I'm
that's on my list too.
yeah, I'm like a huge JJK stan. Huge.
Oh,
She
and I
could
caught
probably
up a little bit on Spy Family.
with the
So,
manga.
yes.
Yeah, just so you know, when you finish, so like I'm caught up on the JJK manga, and
Hmm.
because I decided that how far are you in the anime? Because I don't want to spoil what you're going through right now.
So, I am at the point where your boy goes to the school and sees like someone who's become a dark sorcerer, but he's new to the game and he's like about to murk somebody who he thinks killed his mom. I don't know nobody's name. I hope that makes sense.
It does.
Um,
It does.
okay.
So for some reason, I got hella attached to Junpei, and I don't know why. Probably because he's like the quiet nerd who like had a hard time, and I collect
You
those like
did, poor
Pokemon.
baby.
So,
Hmm.
so like I immediately became emotionally attached, and like I was not prepared. Well, no, I knew what was going to happen. Like it's foreshadowed. It is foretold on the wall if you've
Oh
ever
no,
watched
I
anime.
feel like they're gonna. I feel like Junpei's not long for this world
Yeah.
because of what Nanami said. Nanami was hella like, one day you're gonna have to kill someone, and I don't want you to have to experience that because it changes your whole thing.
Yeah.
And then your boy was like, I don't want to kill someone because
Yeah.
what if it changes me and killing becomes an option, and that's a situation that I don't want to be in. And then Junpei is in this auditorium about to murk a fool. And I'm like, oh, it's about to happen. It's about to happen. So that's where I'm at. But I will say about Jujutsu Kaisen, Gojo's goofy ass could get it. Like if there's anyone that I was attracted to, I know like Nanami's daddy, but Gojo has like that fucked up uncle energy, and
It
he's
does.
like that one uncle who's just fucking ridiculous. Like he's wearing the sand shoes and shit, out at the grill, like that uncle. But who you can count on in the pinch. But he's so goofy. He's so goofy, and I adore him. I even adore the outro credits, like the way he dances. I'm
Yes.
like, yes, Gojo, dance, Gojo.
That is the first show that I always watch the outro for. Like I
Mhm.
never skipped it. I was like, "No, we're just watching this because it's a great song."
Mhm.
Makes me think
And
of Chainsaw Man.
there's like an after credits little joke thing too, so make sure to watch the whole thing. For you,
I
Danny, because you
am. I
haven't.
am.
I showed you 3 episodes of this show and you were like, it's okay. I'm like,
Who,
okay.
me?
You don't remember
Me?
that? Yes,
No,
you.
I do. I do. I want to restart it. I just, it's on my list still. Now I have more reason to after this.
Okay.
After this week.
Yeah, I see. Um,
It's so good.
No,
but anyway,
And
so
that's it for
I'll
me.
admit. So like Cartabus, you like gifted me a year's membership to Crunchyroll. Like when you
oh,
came
did
to visit
I?
one time. Like I think it was like yeah, like it was like a
I
year and a
know.
half ago
I
or
have that
something.
habit.
And then
I'm just like I'm
and
the
then we
Crunchyroll
spent a
fairy.
whole weekend watching anime all this time, and then like I forgot about it, and then when the new Demon Slayer came around, then I opened up Crunchyroll, and then my subscription had expired, and I wasted the whole year, but I still appreciate it, and now I'm gonna catch up on things.
Lasai.
No,
Okay, Danny.
I'm in an anime watching mood now. After watching the new Demon Slayer, I'm I'm gonna get
You're
through
in the
Demon
mode
Slayer again,
again.
and then
Thank
I'm gonna
you.
start getting through some stuff seriously.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, but what I was saying
Oh,
is, so basically, when what happened to Junpei happened to Junpei, I basically had a panic attack because I was so
Oh
attached.
no.
And I was like, I'm going to read up so I'm not surprised and I won't have a panic attack when the new season comes out, because the new season's coming out like in 2 weeks or something. It's like right here.
Mhm.
And
I
so
think it's
I
the
read
10th.
it. I think it's the 14th. It's either the
Mm.
10th or the 14th. It's in that week. So yeah, it's within that week. Maybe it's the Tuesday. Anyway, so yeah, that I was like, I'm gonna prepare myself. And after reading ahead, I realized I'm just going to have a panic attack every single episode of the Shibuya incident, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm
Oh
just prepared
no.
because it is that intense, the whole thing. And like a lot of people say that the manga is harder to read because of the way that the artist set it up. And like I kind of get that because the paneling is a little confusing, I will admit, on that one, and I'm
Mhm.
not sure why. Maybe it's just because I got used to the crisp paneling that is in Chainsaw Man, because
Mhm.
we stand Chainsaw Man in this house too.
Yes, we do.
Like somebody had like a TikTok or reel or something about how Fujimoto Sensei ate his dead pet fish, and they were like, that shouldn't be surprising. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know why you're surprised by
Mhm.
that. Um, he's a genius. But I'm so excited that you're watching it. Like, you have no idea. I like squealed when you texted me about it. And I'm like, you have to text me the whole time. I need to know everything because it's my favorite.
Yay. What
I
have
forgot.
you been watching this week?
So for me, I have been watching. So we watched this anime called The Daily Life of the Immortal King, and it's
Mhm.
a reincarnation show, but it's one of the Chinese shows. And for me, the Chinese shows are a little harder to follow because their pacing is different. So I don't know if you
Mm.
watched the rest of the Heaven Official's Blessing or not, but like the pacing is weird and like the voice acting is not the same. And I don't know if it's
Mhm.
because it is in Chinese, so like it's going to sound different than Japanese, but um or if they just aren't used to being voice actors. It could be like a combo of those. But like it was
Mhm.
pretty fun. It's one of those like I liked it because of how self-aware it is. Like they do parodies of
Mhm.
other shows and like they know that they're ridiculous. So like first episode in, they've got like the director of the animation in the show and stuff like that. Like it's extremely self-aware. It's really funny, but like
Mhm.
it's not super engaging. So like I don't know if we're going to watch season 4 if it comes out or not. It just like it was better than Boruto, but like marginally.
Mm-hmm.
Season 1 is really good, and then season 2 and season 3 is just like, meh.
Is it
But
animated?
then,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's an animated show. It's on Crunchyroll. And then we started season 2 of Ancient Magus Bride, which I'm extremely excited about. And
Oh, where's that? Is that on Crunchyroll too?
yeah, but watch season 1 first, obviously. And there's 2
Okay.
like side seasons that have like 3 episodes apiece, and those are really good too. So we've seen the whole thing recently. We watched it recently, and then season 2 came out. So we wanted to wait because I refuse to not binge things. So I don't like watching it directly when it's coming out. I'll wait till it's completely
Mm-hmm.
out, and then I'll just like watch the entire season at once because I can't wait. I don't like waiting episode per episode. The only shows I did that for was Spy Family and Chainsaw Man. And both of those, it was like painful waiting. I hate waiting. I hate waiting so
Mm-hmm.
much. And honestly, I'm glad that I had to wait. So like I waited for Chainsaw Man the weekend of Thanksgiving. I couldn't watch it because I was at my parents'. And then I came back and there were 2 episodes. And that's good because it was episodes 7 and 8. And if I'd watched episode 7 by itself, I would not have continued the show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because that episode is it's a little much. It's a little much
Was that the
with
one where
that
your
one.
girl got taken out?
No, it's the one before that where he gets his mouth barfed in.
Oh yes, first kiss.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm not.
oh, sorry about
No,
that.
no, and then when Himeno almost assaults him, yeah, not super cool with that either. In fact, my friend was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Yeah, I stopped watching it after that." I'm like, "I promise you, it gets better because Himeno gets taken out the next episode. Just keep watching." And she was like, "Oh, okay, I'll
Mm-hmm.
watch it."
Mm-hmm.
She'll probably end up reading the manga though because she likes manga better. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but for me, it was more like so. I read a bunch of stuff too, as usual, like I do, and the ones I want to highlight for that were I found a BL with an actual himbo, which I'm extremely excited about because for some reason BLs don't have himbos very often. They'll have like
Mm-hmm.
golden retriever types, but they won't have like actual true big dumb dumb as a pile of bricks a sweet boy. And this one does. It's called Love Tractor, and it's about this
Mm-hmm.
guy who has to go out to his grandfather's farm. He's from the city and he meets like this farmer guy who's like much younger, but like uh he just loves farming. And that's it. That's his special interest is farming instead of fighting like you normally see with himbos. But it's super
Mm-hmm.
cute. The conflicts that come up are resolved pretty easily, so it's a very low stress comic. It's super nice. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's on both Tapas and Tappy Tunes, so you can kind of pick whichever one. I
Okay.
tend to read more on Tapas than Tappy Tunes because Tapas is a little bit cheaper, but yeah, I highly recommend that one. And then the other one was the one that like made me super sad, but like in a good way. It's called Love Me for Who I Am,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a comic about a non-binary character. And
Oh, where's this at?
it's a manga, so you'd have to like buy the mangas individually. It's not a
Oh,
line comic. Yeah, I'll get them for
meow.
you. I'll get them for you.
Meow.
But yeah, so it's a story about a character finding acceptance, and they
Mm-hmm.
end up working at an otokonoko cafe, which
Mm-hmm.
if you are unfamiliar with that word, you might be familiar with it because if you've seen or on Host Club,
Yeah.
Haru's dad is an otokonoko. It basically
I
means
love
Man child.
Let me just it makes my heart flutter with happiness.
oh. Um, but yeah, so otokonoko basically means a man dressed up as a woman, specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And what I really liked about the comic is it had a lot of representation. Like one of the characters is upset that the main character doesn't want to identify as an otokonoko because they're non-binary, so they're not they they're like, I'm not a man, so I'm not an otokonoko. But I'm happy to dress up as a maid and be part of this cafe because I like wearing cute clothes. And they were very strongly attached to the otokonoko moniker, but then they realized that they're trans and they actually just really want to, they're a girl. And so that, and they ended up coming out that way, and like just the main character making friends. And then you find out that their home life was really bad, and they had a bad relationship with their parents and their sister. And then like in the last episode, they have kind of a reconciliation, and it made me cry. And like I might tear up just talking about it because it was like cathartic in a way that it's a level of acceptance I know that I'm never going to have. But that I'm happy that I have found family in a way that they found within the cafe as well.
Yeah.
So that was, yeah.
Hugs, my friend. Hugs, so many hugs. And I get it. In that regard, seeing someone be accepted, even in media, can be very healing for us. And it also can be it's definitely the definition of bittersweet, because it's like, good for you, and I wish I had, but this is what I have in my life. So I get it, being non-binary and queer and all this other stuff. Part of the alphabet mafia. LGBTQI. I love it. I love it so much. So hugs. I get it. Distance hugs.
Yeah. So that one oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I just listened to a podcast. It was Jinx Monsoon's podcast, and she had I forget their name, but it was a non-binary actor who was in what's it called? That Neil Gaiman movie show on Netflix. Sandman, yeah. The one that played Desire.
Yeah, Desire is very non-binary as a character too.
Yeah, so
their description is
interesting
great.
Conversation, because I guess they kind of embody the same places in showbiz and kind of go for the same roles in showbiz. And it was a very long conversation about being non-binary in show business, and like,
yeah, I was gonna say Jinx is non-binary too, I thought.
Yeah, she calls herself trans femme non-binary. But yeah, they were talking about, like feeling like not trans enough in some instances, and it was an interesting conversation. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
No, it's like, this is really like gumbo yaya, in the sense that we talk, and sometimes we talk over each other.
Yeah.
But all the ingredients are there, and we yeah, and there's no like, I find that us thinking we have to pause or interrupting each other is like very corporate. And we get to contribute to conversation and jump in when we need to jump into, and listen when we need to listen. So no, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Everyone wants to be a part of the conversation, and that's awesome. But
So
we all watched Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is we have feelings. We have feelings about the last season. So many feelings. I think in the last 5 episodes, I cried like 3 times. And I think Muichiro is my new favorite.
You said you cried 3 times in the last episode alone, right?
No, I cried for Muichiro. I cried for his brother yelling.
Yeah.
Like his brother yelling like took me all the way out. I don't know, like the way that he yeah.
Because it was real. It was real. It was trauma. You could hear it. I think I even texted that to you. I'm like, that's trauma talking. but it really showed what energy happens when you want to protect someone, but you're just so full of rage. And
Mhm.
he was so full of rage. He's like, well, one of y'all could have been here. One of y'all could have been here. I ain't losing on no one else. And yeah, that was trauma talking. And
Like,
it was
"I have
very
to
much, oh,
nail
I
you
can't
down
connect with this.
and keep you
Mm-hmm.
here. I'm gonna do that
Mm-hmm.
because 'cause I'm not losing somebody else. So stop being dumb."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I get
Mm-hmm.
that, and, um, I also, I really, really love Genya now too because,
Mm-hmm.
um, 1, his powers are really weird, and 2, it's the same voice actor as Bakugo, and I love my shouty boys, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "Oh, you're shouty."
I'm still not entirely sure like what his deal was. Like at the end, like I was at first I was like, are Genya and Nezuko the same? Like, or but I don't know. I didn't realize that Genya's not actually a demon, but just takes on demon powers temporarily. I don't know
Yeah, because of
how it
eating
fits in.
demons. But I thought it would make sense for him to be a demon because, he wasn't eating, he wasn't sleeping, which is, demon shit. But,
Yeah,
he's not a full demon, he just, takes on their powers by eating them, which was also kind of hilarious because when they had that tree thing and he's like, "I can't do anything."
Nah.
Nom.
Mm-hmm.
Bitey, bitey, bitey. I'm like, "Oh, you're adorable, okay."
I guess he'll
But
have
then
I
some
think
and
more
then
there's
background in it later.
I think they
wow.
explain it in the manga.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to read the hell out of the manga the next couple weeks. Like 1,000%. It's already on our Shonen Jump, so, there I have no excuses to not read it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But
it's
I cried a few times with it as well. There was one scene they were hella wrong for what they did. They were hella wrong for what they did, and that has to deal with Nezuko. How they had that whole sequence of Nezuko and her life, and I'm like, you assholes, you're about
I
you.
was fully convinced by it that yeah, I thought she was dead.
Yeah.
Should we said spoiler warning before this?
Oh yeah,
It's
we're
fine.
gonna put a spoiler warning on the
We
episode thing, like
spoil the hell out of this show all the time,
all
it's
the
fine.
time, all the time.
Um,
All right.
yeah, I had already been spoiled. I had already been spoiled. The internet showed me what was going to happen to her, and I still cried because I felt Tanjiro's emotions so vividly because of how good his voice actor is. I was just like, "Oh, baby, why?"
Not not just that, but the artistic choices of the scene, like how they did it, like Nezuko approaching instead of him just like seeing her right off the bat. And
Yes.
then yeah, like the coloring, the lighting, like everything was just beautifully, so I cannot
Yeah.
enough.
Oh, that's
Also,
it,
you're right,
yeah.
the voice act. Hmm.
Because I cried twice in that one because I cried when Tanjiro was screaming, and then I cried again when she came out with that little "Yokata ne," and it's like, "Oh my god!" Yes!
When she said Ohio, I'm like,
You're like, "Why?" Yeah.
like, good morning, Mexico, good morning.
I've been waiting for that the whole show. Like I've been wondering since season 1, like why is she still gagged when she's obviously not like
Well,
she's in control of herself.
I think it's because she spends so much time as a toddler that maybe she was, regressing a little bit. She could understand
She
everything that was going on, but, her actual actions weren't really, meshing, and it's like she's in a baby body 90% of the time, so
Yeah, I think she actually had regressed after being,
Like after she went to sleep for
um,
2 years after when she first
yeah,
became a
yeah,
demon.
because 'cause she'd been muzzled for, 3 or 4 years at that point, right?
Yeah.
no, she's been yeah, for about 3 years, because
Yeah.
she was asleep for two. She
Yeah.
was asleep for
She
2 of those
was,
years.
straight up living in a different world while Tanjiro was, throwing himself throw those bodies on that gravel, I mean, mountain
Mm-hmm.
repeatedly.
Mhm.
Though
It made
he was
me.
cute with
I
the
was.
long hair. He needs to get that long hair again.
He was cute. He was super adorable with the long hair. I'm sad that my son was not in this season, and I hope next season I
You're
get
talking about
to
Zenitsu?
see him. Yeah,
Huh?
Zenitsu.
Yes.
Zenitsu's my son.
See,
Um,
I didn't have to be
And
told because I already saw Cartabus's picture of you as
yeah,
Zenitsu.
I shared with Danny my little art.
uh, uh,
I really liked
it's.
it.
I'm gonna cosplay Zenitsu. Like
Yes.
that is like I get it. I get the anxiety. I get the still needing to fight. Like right now, as I'm talking, I'm looking at my Zenitsu stickers on my keyboard. Like I'm like, that's my baby. I love him. He's so like he's just trying to do the best he can. He just wants to, get married, and live. He just wants to live, poor baby. He didn't ask for all that, but here he is, fighting this little heart out.
See,
I
Fucking
get
yeah.
it.
him.
And Inosuke is my favorite, which is a surprise to literally no one.
I really
And
do appreciate it.
I didn't get enough of him this season, but I loved the scene that we got with him, especially the ending where
Mhm.
you see him on the ceiling. Okita, ganpachiro, Okita. I'm like, yeah, yeah, you little psycho, stay up there. I love you.
Wake up. Yeah, no. He's adorable. But yay! Also, can we talk about Tanjiro? Like, I don't know if I saw this online or if you said it, Dre. Can we talk about Tanjiro just being a fucking avatar? Like, water breathing,
Oh, yeah.
Fire
sun
breathing,
breathing,
lightning breathing for no
fire
reason.
breathing, yeah,
He's like mashing
yeah,
them
yeah.
together. He's like,
You just
I'll
do
use
it
your
all.
lightning style with fire, because why the fuck not? That's why, like,
Mm-hmm.
when they do the Hashira training sequence with him, I'm really curious as to who's going to be training him, because
Mm-hmm.
like I I wonder if Tengen's going to come out of retirement to be like, yeah, let's do some sound breathing, bitch. Let's do this, or if it's going to be like Angry Boy Airman, because I think I'm going to like him a lot. I don't know. I have a thing for anybody with a Kansai dialect who like uses elements and shouts a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if they're kind of a delinquent. That's some good shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking watching the first season again. Is it's right up your alley with the Kansai Ben with Inosuke.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what's crazy to me is so the voice actor for Inosuke is the same voice actor for fucking Kirito from SAO. Same guy.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
word?
Yeah, totally different. And I was like, that's
Yeah.
that's some wild ass range you got there, my dude. I respect that
Mm-hmm.
100%. Um, yeah, no, I love them.
Demon
But it
Slayer
reminded
definitely
me,
is high quality, like animation, voice acting,
yeah,
everything. It's really well made.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's got really good animation, really good character design too. Like I really like the character designs. Like going through the first season
yeah,
again,
the
especially.
demons are super cool. I can't wait for the pimp to start doing stuff though.
Oh,
The Blondie. And I love Akaza, the the guy with the stripes. I love him a lot
I
as well.
I can't wait to. I'm always into the goofy ones. I can't wait to see what Doma does. The one with the rainbow eyes
Yeah, he was
and the
the
white
pimp I
hair.
was referring to.
That's the
He
pimp. Okay,
yeah.
yes. I can't wait to see what he does. I
Yeah,
can't
no,
wait. I'm like,
I've read up on him. He has his own cult and is specifically preys on women. So that's why I called him a pimp. Yeah, right?
he's Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, he's the Jared Leto demon. Oh my god. That's so accurate. I'm dead. Um trying to think. But yeah, my love of Kansai delinquents stemmed from Toski from
Mhm.
Fushigi. which is one of the ones that we watched. So, like, when I said that we would like we would get the fan subs from Canada, that was courtesy of Danny because he was friends with somebody. I'm surprised you weren't abducted the way you were making
No,
friends
that was
online.
just one that I found. No, remember? Did you come with me when we went to Matsuya? But what was it called, Ben? You know the Japanese mall in Arlington
No,
Heights.
Mitsuha. It was always
What?
Mitsuha.
No, it was called something else before when we were in high school.
I swear it was called Mitsuha Market the whole time.
Well, anyway, one time when we were like 16 or 17, I think, like we drove up there and like met some people in their 20s at like a Japanese restaurant that I like knew from like a Sailor Moon like AOL chat room or something. And like one of the guys like sent me like a VHS of just like random anime episodes. Um and my mom like found it, and then like she got on like my AOL and like started like going off on him and like telling him to like leave my son alone, you
Oh my
pedophile.
god, I didn't realize that happened. I remember the random video because I remember that one of them was a little bit lewd, the dragon girl one. Was it
Oh yeah. That was
because
the one
she
that
was,
also
like,
had that
topless half
the
the time?
cat girl one. I forget what it was called.
It wasn't Catgirl Nuku Nuku, was it?
No, it was. Yes, that's what it was.
Oh, yeah, because
Yep.
I remember there
Yeah,
was
it had
also,
that
like,
too.
Those Who Hunt Elves, like, he had, like, a whole collection that he gave
Oh,
you.
yeah. Yeah, I felt really bad about that because he just like he sent me a VHS and like didn't ask for money, just like out of his own goodwill just sent me some anime that he wanted to share with me. And then my mom was like, "You're a pedophile," even though I was already
Oh my god.
like
mm,
driving age.
Yeah,
mm.
no. Like, if that had happened in
Long.
middle school, that would have been a different story, but that was definitely when we were in high school.
You want to know a secret? Those Sailor Moon VHS fan subs that I got from Canada, I would pay for them by taking money out of my mom's purse without her knowledge.
I gave you my allowance money for that. So I was not stealing to get Sailor Moon. When it was your turn, you were stealing from your mom. Okay.
Yes, yes, I
Actually, that
was.
tracks. That completely tracks.
She used to just keep her purse like on the top of the laundry machine. I could just like go in the laundry room and like sneak in when she was in the office.
So
I,
our friendship was very
I'd
chaotic.
yeah, I probably should reflect on that more than I have. That I would just casually steal from my mom when I was younger and
No,
never thought anything
like,
of it.
but again, like I said, it tracks. Like our friendship was so chaotic. I remember I came over to your place once and you were like, "Let me cook for you." And I was like, "Okay." And you just started throwing pasta on the wall to check if it was done.
I found out it was al dente.
Yeah, because that's the
Yes,
only way to check if something's al dente is to just chuck it at the wall.
Does it stick if it's al dente or does it
Yes,
bounce off?
it
it
does. It
sticks.
sticks.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
Um, I also remember the time that you and Matt came over and I wanted to make a pie. So I used a pie crust. And in a blender, I put a banana and then like ice cream. And my dad just kept telling me to put shit in there, and I'm a dumbass, so I kept doing it. So I put like butter and like whipped cream and then just like blended it together till it was creamy, stuck it in a pie shell and put it in the freezer. And then like 3 hours later, I took it out and I'm like serving it up to us. And I thought you almost died because you were laughing so hard you literally couldn't breathe and started choking on pie. It was actually kind of hilarious now that I think about it.
Yeah, we had
Yeah,
a
we
lot of
were
free time over the summer. I went in middle
yeah,
school,
just
so
chaos
we lived.
incarnate.
So from sixth grade to 12th grade, we lived 3 doors down from each other. And then actually, when her parents moved to Ohio at the beginning of senior year of high school, Cartabus moved in to my house. I had forgotten all about this
Yeah,
until
I
like
lived in
just
your
last week. I
basement
was
for
like,
like 3
yeah,
months,
you
dude.
used to live here. a while. And just lived in my brother's basement room for a while
Yeah.
before graduating
It
high
was a
school, a
waterbed, which
semester
was
early.
weird.
Yeah. Remember waterbeds. Remember the
Yeah.
90s.
It
And
was the 90s.
we'd stay up till like 3 a.m. watching Iron Chef for no reason.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, I used to be a lot more into like cooking and cooking shows than I am.
Yeah,
I've gotten a lot
you
more
were really
lazy
into cooking.
as I've gotten older. I don't. I hardly even make my own food. I just get fast food so often. I'm trying to get better about it, but I'm just lazy now.
I only know how to cook one thing, really, and that is kimchi fried rice. But I'm very good at it because it is delicious. So I will
Oh,
continue doing so.
the other thing I wanted to bring up too is right behind me. Do you recognize
Oh,
that picture?
I sure
It's Laura
do.
Palmer.
Laura Palmer from Twin Peaks.
Rawiyah. You know
We
Twin Peaks?
did you watch Twin Peaks, Rawiyah?
Oh, I can see.
It's actually a signed picture too.
Oh, it was
Oh,
like
nice.
silence.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
brother went to see like the Twin Peaks movie at Music Box in downtown Chicago and got signatures.
nice.
But yeah, so that was a big nerd obsession that we discovered together too. That's still one of my favorite shows, Twin Peaks. Like the
Yeah, I
new Twin Peaks.
think
Like
we
have you seen the
binged
Twin
the
Peaks: The Return
entire
show?
series over a weekend, and it was in spring break. So I actually stayed
Wow.
over at your place
Mhm.
that weekend, I remember, because I think Mike was gone or something. So I stayed in his room. And it was also the weekend that we were doing the ACTs. We'd stayed up till like 2 a.m. the night before. And
No.
I like barely got by, and meanwhile Danny got like a 27 or something because he's a stupid genius. I hate you.
34.
Oh my god, shut up.
That must not have been the first time we watched it though, because I'm pretty sure I remember watching it like over summer break at your house, like in middle school, I think.
No, we definitely watched it in high school. I don't think we watched it in middle school. Though, no, what we
Your memory's
watched
a
in
lot
middle
better than
school
mine.
over summer break was between 8th grade and freshman year, we watched Fushigi. And I remember we had a drinking game where we would drink soda every time someone screamed Miyaka. If you try to do that with booze, you will die. That is
Oh yeah.
that is
Omune!
just it's not a
Naga!
smart thing to do, FYI.
Yeah.
So, Danny, tell us about what you do. Tell us about, like, we're going to switch gears.
Yeah.
Tell us about
uh,
what you do. Tell us about acupuncture. Tell us about
yeah.
veterinary stuff. So,
So yeah, I'm a small animal veterinarian. I've been in practice for like 12 years. And so just this past month, last month I just started this new acupuncture course. So I'm going to get certified as like a certified veterinary acupuncturist by the end of it. But I just finished the first section of it that's online, just going over like the basics of it, and like the the scientific
mhm.
basis of it. They kind of went over that before going into like the more um, new aspects. Like it's really different from Western medicine, just the whole traditional Chinese medicine basis of how things work, because it's like Western medicine is really just recently developed over the past couple hundred years, like the scientific theory and using evidence-based medicine to make your decisions. Um, but acupuncture and traditional Chinese medicine it's based off of like yin and yang, and like the five elements theory makes is like a big part of it. And so it's really just it's it's all about like observations that people made over thousands of years of the natural world around them. So like with yin and yang, it's like the big example like they use is just like the sun on a mountain. Like like so like there's always a sunny side and a shaded side, but it's always changing as the sun moves. And there's always opposites, but there's always a degree of opposites, and you can only have an opposite by defining the opposite of what what you're comparing to. Like, so you can't have like two sides of one thing without defining the ends of them first.
Mhm.
And so like, like one feeds into the other, one is defined by the other, one controls the other. And so it's like balance in that regard. But then like the five elements theory is like kind of based off of like observing the seasons. And so like it's, wood, fire, earth, metal, water, going like spring, summer, fall, winter, or spring, early summer, late summer, fall, winter. Um, Sorry about that. And so it's based on how like so with the five elements theory, like each element is assigned specific organs in the body, and then those organs encompass basically every tissue in the body too. There's so every type of organ or tissue can be assigned to one of the five elements, and then with like there's also you know like there's an internal external connection with the body. So like getting into like the acupuncture portion, there's an external part of the body that's always connected to something internally, and vice versa. And so you can access things internally by going to specific areas in the body externally. And so like the acupuncture meridians or the channels are like the 12 main channels. There's other ones too, but like the 12 main channels are the ones that correspond to like the internal organs and that have like the five elements assigned to them. Um, and so it's really it's kind of got like a philosophical basis. Basically, it's like it's based off of like the philosophies of just observations throughout the years, but then the actual medicinal part comes in just from trial and error. The acupoints have been found, and then now looking at it from a Western medicine perspective, there's now abundant scientific evidence to prove that it's effective. No matter how they arrived at the points, whether you believe the philosophy or not, it's still definitely
Mhm.
proven effective. So we know that the meridians actually do exist. So like in horses, like a certain percentage of horses have a nerve reflex where if you put a needle into like a point on the bladder meridian over their rump, they'll actually have a reflex where their hairs will stand up along the entire meridian, and especially at the specific points along the meridian. So you can actually see the meridian as like an actual reflex in the horses, in certain horses.
Mm.
And so you can actually measure like changes in neurotransmitters from acupoints, and you can actually measure uh sorry you can actually like you can actually see um sorry, I lost my train of thought. But there's actual physical. The acupoints are actual anatomic locations. There's a lot of nerve endings on them. The meridians tend to travel over major nerves, so there is a close association with like the acupoints and acupuncture and like
Mm.
effects on neurology. And I guess apparently a lot of like board certified neurologists go on to learn acupuncture also. Um,
Oh,
Mhm.
interesting.
so yeah, so it's just really nice because it's a totally new mode of like medicine and treating things that that is gonna that I'll be able to, I'm just excited to be able to do something that's really interesting and new, but also that it's gonna like provide just another tool to offer to people with like chronic, especially with chronic diseases like chronic arthritis, chronic pain. Um, like so, I'm excited about it. It's really interesting to me. And I'm excited to like get more into the weeds on it and like get to learn it a lot better.
That's cool. Have you
Yeah.
are you do you have like the needles that you can start working with them yet?
Hopefully, they should be coming in this next week. Um, yeah, I tried to order them from our regular supplier, and I guess they're a special order, so they're taking weeks, and so I'm ordering them straight from the Chi University
Nice.
and getting them quickly. So I'm gonna. I actually did needle myself at work just today because
That sounds so dirty, though. You needled yourself at work.
it's because like I have chronic tendonitis in my ankle, so I have chronic ankle pain, and so I was like, I know the master point for ligaments and tendons, so I'm gonna use it, and it was fun. Even though
That's very
I
cool.
have osteoporosis in my spine, and I was going to see a acupuncturist once every few weeks, and it was really, really helpful in my pain management when I had like because I had such a severe pain spike that I was in bed for a long time. And acupuncture is part of what helped me get through that period of time. So I really believe in acupuncture, and where um, Carter and I went to massage school, there was an acupuncture school right across the way. So
Yeah.
yeah,
that's cool. And we learned about the meridians,
We did.
very
That
like a
sounds
little bit about
familiar.
the meridians. Yeah, in massage school.
yeah,
I
it's
think
really interesting. So like with the meridian specifically, like one of the things that at first when I was first reading it, I was like, oh, that sounds kind of stupid. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that, but like I was just like, oh, I kind of rolled my eyes seeing it. It was like I guess like the chi in your body, the energy in your body flows through the meridians in a specific cycle throughout the day, and so like from like 3 to 5 in the morning every day, the chi is most prominent in your lung meridian, and then from 5 to 7 it goes to your large intestine meridian, and on and on. But like one of the things they showed in one of the first lectures was that there have been studies in human medicine for things like inflammatory bowel disease or asthma, and people that are on once daily medication where they tested it to see when like the most what time of day it would be most effective to take your once daily medication, and without having any association with like traditional Chinese medicine, just like taking the same people on the same medication, giving it to them once a day for 2 weeks at one time a day, and then doing a washout period, and then giving it to them for 2 weeks on another time a day. And it turned out like from those studies that asthma patients taking once daily asthma medication is most effective if you take it at 4 a.m. right in the middle of the lung meridian cycle, and then like bowel medications are most effective at a 6 a.m., like right in the middle of the large intestine cycle. So it's interesting that things just can be, it turns out that it seems like kind of far fetched to some of the things associated with it, but then there's some scientific evidence to back it up, as it turns out. So it's kind of cool to see.
I think it only seems far-fetched because we're not as familiar with Eastern medicine, in
Mm-hmm.
terms of, like, what we've grown up with, you know?
Right.
So, we're gonna have a different perspective, per se, than someone who, like, grew up with that medicine type.
Yeah.
So I think learning that kind of thing is actually really cool because you can kind of get an idea about things outside of, because something that I'm dealing with as well is like with the chronic illness and stuff like that, and doing herbal stuff instead of like actual medication. Because when I first got sick after the long COVID, I was on like a steroid inhaler, and it just fucked me up all the time. Like my voice was rough and awful 90% of the time because the steroids were like, I would get thrush in my throat from the steroids because that happens. It's a known side effect of steroids is that you'll get thrush if you are taking them, inhaling them is essentially. So, like, the medicine even says, make sure to rinse your mouth and throat out after taking this medication, or you're going to get thrush. And even after rinsing every single time, I still got thrush because I'm sensitive to medication or whatever. I hate things. But like, it sucked. It sucked. I hated being on the medication, but it was the only thing that could let me breathe.
Uh-huh.
So, and I never really got relief for all the fevers and stuff because, well, one, the doctors wouldn't actually believe that I had the fevers. And two, like, basically they're like, well, you don't have an infection. So since you don't have an infection, you can't be having fevers. And it's like, well, yeah, but I'm still having fevers all the time. So maybe help me. Um, and Rawiyah hooked me up with an herbalist named Rylan, and he was like, I believe you. So he got me on some herbal medication, and my energy is up. I'm having less of the fevers. It hasn't like completely gotten rid of them, but I didn't expect, an instant they were going to get rid of them right away type of thing. So I'm really, really happy with the results I've gotten so far, just by having more
Mhm.
energy and feeling better
That's
in
great.
general. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I was saying before with like the difference between them, like so like the Eastern medicine is more of like a whole body holistic whole body balance thing. Like they address the whole body and the whole body's energy balance rather than just like specific symptoms, and addressing like specific
Yeah.
like issues like look it addresses the whole body together, like restoring
Mhm.
balance to the body, not just the clinical signs or the symptoms.
And I
That's what
love,
I've loved about it. I've always leaned more to Eastern medicine and alternative medicine because I need a holistic fix with my PCOS. I have PCOS. I have diabetes. I have osteoporosis. I have all these things going on in my body. And when I'm leaning on Western medicine alone, it is like just a bunch of pills that make something else go wrong.
yeah.
And I have such harsh reactions to medication sometimes. Like I will get the side effects of almost everything that I take. So supplementing with
That's
other
tough.
medication has been super helpful. And Carter, thank you for saying the thing about the thrush because I am taking a steroid inhaler right now
Hmm.
and I had no idea. Like my doctor never talked to me about it and I didn't see that on the
Really?
box. Yeah, my
Oh.
doctor did not talk to me about it at all. So I'm going to start rinsing. I do drink water all the time after I take my steroid inhaler, but I didn't it was just something I was doing because it's in the morning and I'm thirsty.
Mhm.
So thank you for saying that I'm going to be more intentional about it
Yeah, no,
because I do
I
not want that.
gargled with it, and I still ended up with frog throat all the time. Like, I
Mm,
sounded real bad, like, just real
Thrush is
bad,
an
and I don't know
infection.
if it's because I'm sensitive or what, but, yeah, definitely watch out for that with the steroid inhaler. I had the one that was like it's round and it has an orange top. I don't know the name of it, but I still have that
okay.
somewhere. But, yeah, no, it was not my favorite thing in the world, so I'm glad that I can
Mhm.
just do the albuterol again. uh the the vaccine fixed me for that, but like, yeah, it's like with Western medicine they try to fix everything with a nuke, and it ends up destroying something else in your body, because like
Yeah.
every time you get an infection and you're taking antibiotics, you end up like killing all of your gut bacteria, which causes
Ugh.
um, other issues. And for those of us with vaginas, it also causes yeast infections if you're
Yep.
taking antibiotics, because it kills
Gnarly
all of
yeast
the
infections.
good
That's what thrush
bacteria
is,
down
by the way.
there. And
It's
then you're
yeast
like,
infection in
"Oh,
your throat.
shit." Um, but yeah, I'm happy with the herbal medication. It's different. I've tried acupuncture before, but unfortunately for me, I am allergic to metal, so they left me in a room for, like, an hour with the needles in me, and I had little red spots everywhere when I came out because
Mm.
it was so itchy. It was so itchy. But I know
I'm
that
still gonna
they
make you try it though
No,
for your
okay,
fevers.
fine, but don't leave it in for an hour, please.
Right?
Cry. Um, but yeah, no, I've seen like, the herbs I really liked, though. But I find with herbs sometimes, like, it'll make my mouth numb, but I don't mind that. I kind of like it, actually.
You must have something to have
He
an
was like,
effect.
"Here, for your allergies and your sinuses, take these herbs," and I'd have to, like, boil them and then, like, make them, but I'm like, he like, the doctors will check your, like, meridians through your wrist, which is really interesting to me. I
Mhm.
enjoyed seeing the TCM
So, like
doctor.
checking pulse quality and then like
Mhm.
tongue color are really big in like the
Yeah.
Chinese medicine exam. So like
What?
taking
So
different
what's the
pulses.
tongue color for? What does that mean?
So like if it's like the color, like if it's red, it can be a sign of like heat excess or yang excess. If it's dry, it can be a sign of like yin deficiency. So there's and then like if it's purple, it can be due to like moist stuff. I haven't gotten into a lot of the specific Chinese medicine diagnoses, so I'm not very familiar yet, but apparently, like it makes sense that tongue color would change if you're affecting circulation, and
Mhm.
through the acupuncture and through the medication. Um, but yeah, so that's a big thing, and then like whether the pulse is like strong or deep or thready or slow, like yeah, they all have different indications. I haven't gotten that far yet in my studies,
Mm.
but I'm excited to learn.
It's cool that there's more classes for that too. It's one of those things where, like, I remember they have massage classes for animals as well, but I feel like the emphasis is more on horses because there's
Mhm.
actually a big industry for massage for racehorses,
Hmm.
where they'll have somebody come in and give racehorses massage to keep them at their best, which is interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm
I've
going. I'm
even
going to go on
seen.
site in August for like for the first on-site
Oh,
course.
nice.
Mm.
So, like,
I've
I'm-
seen. I've seen pit bulls getting chiropractic adjustments. Before.
I have two.
They are
I have.
adorable. These little pit
They
bulls getting
are.
these adjustments. Cause then they'll have their adjustment, and then they'll look at the chiropractor like, I love you forever now.
They're all like surprised and then, ah.
Yeah, 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 very
Apparently,
much.
30% of dogs will fall asleep once the needles are in place. Just from
Interesting
Mm.
with the acupuncture.
yeah, they're just because
That
it just makes them so comfortable.
I can't imagine my dog doing that though. Then again, I can't imagine him sitting still long enough for you to be able to put needles in him. So there's also that.
The first point is always bai hui. It's the permission point that calms. It's calming, so they call it the permission point because it's like get them used to the first needle, and then it also helps like calm them for the rest of them.
Okay, and where is the ba waypoint?
There's actually two of them. One's on the dorsal midline or like on the back between right at the lumbosacral junction, so between the last
Okay,
lumbar vertebra and the right before the sacrum, and then there's one right in the middle of the head too.
the middle of the head. Okay.
I would rub my pups like right at the temple to like calm her when she was freaked out. And we used to have this big, like humongous 150-pound Rottweiler.
Oh my God.
And like he would love it when you like rub that point like right in the middle of his head. Like he would
Mm-hmm.
start to melt and fall over and become a lap dog, which was inconvenient because
Because
it's a
he's
150
giant.
pound gigantic Rottweiler.
Big baby.
Hmm.
What kind of dogs did you grow up with? Rawiyah? Or what kind of
Me, I
pets?
had a Cocker Spaniel, but but was like my mom got real weird about the Cocker Spaniel. Like the Cocker Spaniel came to us through someone else, and we found out that we got the dog because she was pregnant.
Oh,
And so we had her through her pregnancy. I mean, it was kind of fucked up because my mom drove the dog out to the woods somewhere and like left her there, which we didn't know about. She said, "Oh, I'm taking her to the vet because she's pregnant," but she
oh,
didn't do that. She took her to the woods and fucking abandoned her ass.
oh
What
no.
And
the
then
hell?
she told us, "Oh, our dog had run away from the vet," and we were like, "Oh no." But then one day we were out on Airline Highway at this store called Schwegman, and this dog comes running towards us looking all fucked up. This dog was all fucked up. And I was like, "Is that Lady?" And my mom was like, "Get in the car." And I was like,
Oh
"No, I
Oh
no!
think
my
that's Lady." And
God.
she's like, "Get in the fucking car." And like the dog was at this point had caught up and was behind us and like on the side of the car. And I was like, "I think that's Lady." And my mom was like, "Well, if she jumps in the car when you roll down your window, then it's Lady. And if she doesn't, then she's not our dog, and we're gonna leave." And I rolled down the window and I was like, "Lady," and she jumped through that window and onto my lap. And I was like, "This is our dog."
Did she let
And
you keep her?
huh?
Did she let you keep her?
Did you keep her? No. What happened next
Right?
was she had the puppies, and then the original owner was like, "I want my dog back."
Oh
So
my!
my mom gave the dog back to the woman who gave her to her originally, but then she ran away from that woman trying to find us again.
Oh my God! That's traumatic.
Yeah.
Traumatic for the
God,
dog or
Mom.
traumatic for us?
both.
My
Like,
mom's my mom's problematic in a lot
Yeah,
of
that
ways.
is
My
a
mom is
mild understatement. Like, come
horrible.
on.
that's too bad.
My mom is horrible. So
Sorry to hear that.
that was the only dog I had growing up. But then a lot of people that I lived with had dogs. Like my first real roommate on my own had a pit bull named Tank. Loved
Tank.
Tank.
I love Tank. Tank was stinky though.
Tank was singing. That's because she never fucking
She
washed
never
Tank.
washed him. She did not care
Oh,
for
look
that
at your
dog the way
pup.
he deserved.
This is
Oh, look at
Aziz,
your pup.
baby. My dog
Nice.
Ozzy.
Hi, Ozzy.
He's
Hi,
a
Ozzy.
poodle, 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And he
He's
will
waiting
get up
for
in
his.
your business. Like every time you come, he just be in your business.
He's a lap dog.
He is.
Mm-hmm.
He's a gigantic lapdog. He's bigger than Django, and he's a lapdog. He's taller,
Mm-hmm.
at least, than Django. Django might be a little thicker because of the breed
Ozzy's
difference.
75 pounds.
I think Django's 65, but he's shorter.
And he can also just reach the countertop with all 4 feet on the ground. He can just reach over,
Uh-huh.
grab things if he wants. But he's pretty well behaved.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a
No,
very good
he
I'm
is
not a
a
very good
spoiled baby.
disciplinarian.
That is what he is. Because if you literally give him anything Danny is eating, the dog gets a bite of, regardless of what that item is. I can't do that with my dog. He would barf all the
And he's
time.
also he's trained himself to think that he gets to like lick the wrappers of anything I eat. So even if I throw it in the trash, he thinks that's like fair game to take out of the trash.
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, thanks for putting that here for me. Thank you.
Yeah,
It's in my
exactly.
inbox. I'll take
Thank
care of
you.
that. I'll
Thank you.
process that."
So I'm
So
just constantly
thank
picking
you.
trash up off the
Thank
ground
you.
because of him.
Thank you. Grabby hands. Yeah. Django's my first dog. I've always had cats. So it's been and it's been a learning experience for me. I don't he has trained me to act in a very specific way around him. But regardless of what animal I've had, I've always been human furniture for them. They
Mm-hmm.
even Django loves
Do you have
laying
any
all
pets
over me
now,
like.
Rawiyah? Do you have any pets now, Rawiyah?
Hmm?
Do you have any
Do you have
pets
any
now?
pets now?
No, I used to share a pup with my partner, but I we broke up and they have full custody. Which makes me sad because
Yeah.
that's also a little black pitty called Lady, and she was my baby. Um, and I loved her very much. But right now, I don't have any pets. I don't have enough space to have a pet. But when I am able to have a pet, I'm probably gonna get cats again. I am definitely a cat person. Um, I love when they're like very loving, and I love when they're like, I want my space. Cause I'm like, okay, you have your you time, I'll have my me time. We'll meet up later tonight when you want to sleep on top of my face.
Right. Yeah.
So,
No, that's what I love about cats. It's like, I love you and I'll use you as furniture later. Cool.
Mhm.
Let's do that. Let's plan
Yeah.
for it. Can I rub your belly?
Mhm.
Maybe. That's a
Mhm.
firm maybe. We'll see
Maybe.
how I feel.
Here's my boundaries.
Yeah.
Cats
My
are a lot
ex's
easier.
cats would come get me when it was bedtime and I wasn't in bed yet. They would like come out and they'd be like, "Meow," and I'm like, okay, fine. I'll come to bed.
My
And if I
dog
have to,
puts me to
mhm,
bed. My dog puts me to
Yeah,
bed
no,
now.
your dog has a bedtime. It's so
When he's ready
funny.
for
mhm,
Like,
bed, like he won't go in there himself. Like he's staring at me, and then like he'll bark at me. Like he's like, it's ready, time for bed, ready for bed. Like he won't just go in there himself. He waits for me and
mhm.
like makes me come in with him. Like,
well, yeah, because he's not going to go to bed by himself. What, are you crazy?
He needs to make sure everybody in the house is
Yeah,
okay,
it's
probably except for the cat,
bedtime.
but he needs to make sure everybody's like
so
taken
I
care of so
realized
he can rest.
Yeah.
Ozzy is a wood personality. Back to the five elements. Like there's a personality type for each of the five. So the wood personality is the general. So like they're very forward. Like they have to investigate things, loud, talkative. Have to be like the one in front and like taking charge of things, but also very
Mhm,
like, still personable. I think.
I think it's
mhm,
really interesting how there's like a color, an element, and the animal depending on your year and the time of year you were born in. Because I remember looking at mine and I'm a black water dog. What does water
mhm.
personalities do?
Water is more like fearful and like drawn in and like kind of like yeah they're nervous, scared, fearful type.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense because I'm an introvert and I hate talking to people. So,
But
why are you laughing?
they're also supposed to be the longest living.
Yeah,
Supposed to
that's
have
not.
the longest lives.
That's interesting.
And
Is
then
it based on
water.
that, or do you just like go off of the personality and then assign it to someone, or is it actually based off of like the years and stuff like that?
So that's the like the specific like birth years, but then yeah, you can assign a personality based off of like what the person's actually like, or the animal. Yeah, so I'm
Interesting.
not
How
sure
can
how.
I find that?
You can look it up. I found one recently.
I just
Confirm
recently learned that I was born in the year of the dog too. I thought I was a rooster for a long time, but I'm
Oh,
born.
I am a rooster.
I was born in January though, so turns out I'm like I had to look it up though because I'm like in late January, so I had to like figure out when Chinese New Year was. And I like just made it into the year of the dog.
Mm.
I don't know the colors though.
Yeah, the colors, I can't remember where I found those, but it was based on a book. It was
From like is it from
specifically,
like the time of day that you're born? Is that what the color comes from?
I think so.
It
Yeah. So
looks like
like,
the day in your birth year, the last number of your birth year. So my element is metal.
metal, it says
Metal
driven
is
ice queens. Interesting.
detached and
Jesus.
logical, and like the people that would like go to the party but stay out on the periphery.
Okay, it says
Yes.
water is introspective artists, not whiny sad boys. Come on.
Okay, well, maybe in the animal world, water personality means fearful.
I prefer the introspective artist moniker to to quiet
That
sad boy. Please.
I think that fits better.
Here,
Oh my
I'll
God,
send
it says disciplined with high morals and high standards who can also be judgmental, emotionally cold, sharp as a knife, forceful, and controlling.
well, and plus your zodiac sign too. Like add those together.
Plus Virgo
Yeah.
should
Mm,
just
mm, mm.
just accept.
Just accept.
I can't argue with that. I can't. I want to argue. I
Oh, the
want to
color.
argue.
It looks like the color associations are with the actual element. So
There's the
metal's
element.
color is
Yeah.
white.
Yeah, metal is white, water's
And
black,
water's
earth is
color is
yellow,
black.
green is wood, and then fire is red.
Nice, nice, nice.
Oh my God. I'm judgmental. I am judgmental. I am so judgmental. I am so, even though I don't say it out loud, I be judging. I
Like,
be,
maybe I do say it in my eyes.
Well,
I
what
be
element are
judging.
you, Danny?
I think I'd probably be an earth type. They're
Well,
like kind
what
of like laid back and easygoing, but also tend to worry and overthink things. Like at first I was like, am I earth or metal? But then like the worrying and overthinking kind of convinced me, okay, I'm earth type.
well,
Mm-hmm.
if you're going by year, you're water with me because that's 82 and 83.
It's the last number of your year.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's the last digit.
I could see that too.
So yeah, 2 or 3 are your water.
All right, I could take that.
And I'm a
I
1,
mean,
so I'm
and aren't
definitely
you
metal.
Aquarius as well? So you're just
You're
like
water, water.
you're
But
water,
Aquarius
water.
is an air sign,
Huh?
but it is the water bearer still.
Yeah. Wait, it's an earth sign?
It's an air sign.
Air sign. Oh. Actually, that makes more sense now that I think about
What
it.
are you, Aquarius?
Hmm. Yeah, Aquarius is an air sign, even though it's the
Yeah,
water bearer.
Aquarius is an air sign. Yeah. You
Yeah,
would think it would be a water sign because
You
it's like
would because of
Aquarius,
the
but it's
symbol.
not. Hmm.
But actually
yeah,
you
I
fit
definitely
more with a
identify
an
as an
air sign than
Aquarius.
an earth sign or a water sign because water signs are more emotional and air signs are more thinkers and you're more heavily a thinker, I think.
Water signs.
Yeah.
Overthinker.
Oh,
Hmm.
well, that is the tragedy of being an air sign, unfortunately. Meanwhile, I'm like an earth sign on earth sign on earth sign because my moon is in like Capricorn.
Mm. I think the only Earth I have is Virgo. That's it. That's it. The
Oh, the
rest of
rest of
me
you.
is like air and fire.
I always have to look it up to figure out to remember what my other signs are. I
Hmm.
know one is a Scorpio. I think that's my moon sign.
Mm.
Let me see. I'm looking at my chart now.
If you had anything, Danny, if you had anything you would want to tell someone who was thinking about going into acupuncture or becoming a veterinarian, like, what would you say to them?
For becoming a veterinarian, I would say um, be prepared that it's not all playing with animals. It's a lot of dealing with people that are
Hmm.
attached to the animals. But it is
Hmm.
still, like it is still, it's it's a rewarding job, but it's also very stressful at times. Um,
Hmm.
for acupuncture, I would say, um, make sure you have an open mind and be like be open to things that you haven't been exposed to before, and things that like could like explain the world in a different way that you've never thought of before.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's nice
Oh,
to see. And
thank
Cartabus,
you for that.
I forgot earlier. I noticed your background and wanted to mention it. What
What
is that
background?
closet full of boxes?
That look, listen. That is like 200 books that I have not taken out and put on shelves. You can't see my stack of manga over here in the window because I'm not showing it to you. But
Ooh,
yeah,
that reminds.
I got a lot of shit I need to unpack. This is how I live. Deal with it.
All right, I have 3 different manga series from like middle school and high school on my bookshelf as like collections.
Hmm.
One of them is Sailor Moon. One of them is Fushigi Yugi. Can you guess the third?
Well, I already know what it is, so it's not fair.
Oh, did I tell you already? We
Yes.
haven't spoken about it on the show yet.
No, we haven't.
Okay.
Well,
I guess
actually,
Maria is not going to be able to guess.
yeah. I was like, they don't know you.
Mhm.
The other one is Utena. Have you ever heard of that, Rawiyah?
Oh my
Yes,
God, that's on my list to watch.
That's my
we
all-time
actually
favorite from like
talked about it last week a little bit because
Mhm.
that if if I ever get kidnapped, uh, ask me to do the lesbian apocalypse chant, and I will. If I can't do it, then it's not me. Shoot the one who can't do the lesbian apocalypse chant.
So that show was based off of this book, loosely based off of this book called like Demian by Hermann Hesse. That was like it was like this weird like novelette from like World War II times, I think, like
Yeah, it was
based
really
during World War
short.
II, but it was about like this weird cult. It was like a German soldier was the main character, but then like he ended up like getting involved in some sort of cult. Like they would anyway. So it was something to do with Abraxas, the god Abraxas. That's both god and devil in one, so that you're embracing like the whole of yourself rather than just one side and like
Mhm.
burning the other half of yourself. And I guess that's and so we had read that. I read it like freshman year of high school, and then we ended up reading it senior year in AP English too, for class. I was like, yeah, this is my anime exposure, like giving me a heads up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My cat's butts in my background.
Like looking back on it, I realized that our time in middle school and high school, like a lot of the media we consumed had just like hella gay content. And I realized that that just tracks for our friend group in general. Because like most of us are like some flavor of queer now. And
Mhm.
Found appropriate things to consume in some points.
yeah, exactly.
Had
We
to
were
find it
less
ourselves
like,
at the dawn of the internet.
because I'm like, Sailor Moon, super gay.
Super gay.
So gay. Utena,
Oh,
also very gay.
oh,
So,
oh yeah, and then Utena is also like it's really good for like gender roles and role diversion
yeah,
too.
yeah, I really love that one. It's super good. And the soundtrack just slaps. Also, like the songs are really good. Both the
That like
opening and
Greek
the
chorus that's it behind every like duel and
yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's what I call the lesbian apocalypse chant.
oh. That was a good one. When I forgot earlier, I would be remiss if I forgot to mention one of my major nerd obsessions that's anime related is Pokemon Go. That I spend way too much time playing that game on my phone, and actually
Mhm.
like been like going out and like on my days off, I'll like go like to like go downtown to like walk around with the dog and like play it on my phone, like listening to stuff like while walking around. It's really nice. It's I spend way too much time and money on it.
We all have something like that.
Mhm. Let's see. Y'all, I think it's time to wrap up.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really nice
Yeah.
having you on, Danny. Thanks for coming
Thank
on
you
the
so
show.
much for having me. Thanks for being patient with my technical issues.
We got it figured out. That's the
Yes,
main
it's
thing.
all good.
All
It
right.
was so lovely to meet you, Danny.
Yeah, I'm so glad I got to do this. Thank you so much. It was nice
Yeah.
to get to talk to you for actually have a conversation with you instead of just having
Instead of
conversations
listening
in
us
my mind,
talk to each other for hours at a time.
thinking of things I want to say to you guys. Things
Mhm.
I want to edit. Yeah, it was really nice. Now my cat can get fed. There he is.
Tony back there mean mugging you.
Mhm.
I got home almost 2 hours ago, and I've yet to feed him. So he's
He's bitter about it too, you can tell.
Look at that little tail flipping back and
He's
forth.
just like, not feed me,
he,
huh?
he tried to jump into my
Meow.
lap to kind of give me a little nudge earlier, but there wasn't room. Oh, he's not happy. He's ready to eat.
All
So
right.
what would, like, how we normally end these are like, what is one thing, and it could be related to what you talked about or not related to what you talked about, but what was something you would like to leave anyone who's listening to this with?
Hmm. I would say be open and receptive to new things and be kind to other people and don't forget that the world doesn't revolve around you. I had a stressful day
Mm,
at work today.
hmm
Okay.
What about you, Carta?
My takeaway from today is definitely that Western medicine is not the only way to go. So if Western medicine is failing you, there are other ways to get help for what you need,
Mm-hmm.
through herbs or acupuncture, chiropractic, health, that kind of thing. There's a ton of different ways to look into it, and they do actually work. So it's not something that to dismiss out of hand just because it doesn't have an MD in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest, like one thing that got me really excited about learning about it was that like one of the first lectures was the scientific evidence behind the acupuncture and like just showing that they're like it is real even though there's not like a specific anatomic structure that represents the meridians. It actually does exist in some sense. Like it is a physical structure in some other sense, and like there are actual responses to it. So it's good to it's nice to have like the Western medicine scientific study evidence as backup to its effectiveness.
Mm.
Hmm.
At least in my mind, because that's what I'm used to going by.
I think the thing I would leave people with today comes from, actually, is going to be Demon Slayer inspired. And that's that even though you may feel in the moment like you're dying, like emotionally, and that can translate into physical symptoms like panic and anxiety and just impending doom. Like sometimes those feelings come right before we level up. So, you could
Okay.
feel like, oh my God, I'm burning, I'm on fire in my spirit, and then be like, oh, now I'm immune to the sun, bitch. What? So,
That's good.
so yeah. So sometimes when things are tough, we're actually on our way to leveling up in a way and to take rest afterwards. Like that's one of the things I love about the show. Like they show them taking rest. They
Mhm.
have to take rest and then they have to repair
That's
in
true.
order
Yeah.
to be able to fight the next fight. So, level
Something
up.
else interesting with that
Hmm
is when you're evolving and growing, even if it's mental, you can feel physical pain over it. And that's
Yes.
something like because I've been drawing a lot lately and my style is evolving into something slightly different. And as it's evolving, my head hurts a lot after I
hmm
draw too much. And it's not like a bad pain, it's more like when you work out too hard and your muscles are sore. My brain gets
hmm
sore from doing art too hard. And like I thought it was weird, but that's actually normal. It happens when I learn languages too much too. I'm like, oh, I'm
hmm
using my brain too hard. Now it's sore.
I I feel that because my editor has me like, you're gonna think about this in a whole new way, and I'm like, am I? Oh shit!
You are now.
Am now. I want a deadline. I got 10 more days before I have to turn in my first draft, my
You can
second draft, my
You
third
can do
draft.
it.
Me
Almost
and
there.
my Zenitsu plushie
Yeah, I was
were
like, baby
just like holding
Zenitsu
it
will
down.
help you.
Yeah, that thing is tucked onto my, like tucked like right here. I am hugging it while I'm typing. It's like right here between my boob and my arm, and I'm just like type, 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 type.
You just
It's
go
channeling
into like
that Sleepy
superpowers.
Sue energy.
Mhm. Well, Danny, it's been wonderful having you on the show.
Thank you.
Hopefully we get to talk to you again next time and continue to celebrate you as you move through your program.
Thank you
So,
so much. Like, thank you again. I'm looking forward to more with both of you.
All right.
yay!
Yeah, thanks for coming on. We had a good time.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it.
All right,
A lot of fun.
everyone, this is. Go ahead.
I just said it was a lot of fun. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes, no, don't worry. Okay, everyone, this has been Witchy Shit and Mangalit with Rawiyah and Cartabus and special guest Danny. And we will see you on the next episode, everybody. Bye.
Bye.